How happy would you be if you never had to pay for gas or groceries ever again? Here's your chance. 2 winners each will receive free gas and groceries for a lifetime in the Gas and Groceries for Life raffle, presented by Thomas J. Henry. Free gas, free groceries, 2 winners. All net proceeds benefit elementary school children and local food banks. So get rolling, hit the gas, and purchase your raffle tickets at gasandgroceриesforlife.com today.
Go to the hotline, and let's welcome in the head coach of the 7-0. Yeah, I said 7-0. Wylie East Pirates. We're pleased to be joined by head coach Marcus Gold. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. I appreciate you having me today.
I have to imagine that being 7-0 has something to do with you doing pretty great.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's hard to it's one of those things that, you know, at the end of the year, I think we'll be able to look back and be happy about what we've accomplished. But you know, what's crazy is the next one's always a bigger one. So you kind of, I know that's the coach and me talking, but that's the reality. Is the very next game is just that much more important. So we got to kind of get ready for the big one this week.
So I want to go back to what coaches always love to talk about, which is bad seasons. Let's go back to last year. Your first year there with Wylie East, 3-7 mark, just kind of scuffling. There were moments where it really looked like you guys were figuring it out, but maybe just not consistent enough. What is the difference between last year and this year that has you guys off to this historic start there, Wylie East?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. You learn how to lose in that process. You learn how to win. But I think when we're trying to turn a program around and at a school that's only won 1 game for 3 straight years, and we get off to a hot start last year. We win the first 2 games, and there was like this overwhelming sense of like, we made it. Oh, we were there. We were 2-0 and we're better now and we're winning. And I'll be honest with you, I think I got caught up in the record. And hey, we could go 3-0, we could do this, and you're so focused on the record of what was happening and what could happen, and we lost sight of making sure we're just taking care of the little things, focusing on the daily, one thing at a time, and one step at a time, and how do we consistently get better no matter if we win or lose. And I think that's the difference in last year and this year, is that we went into the season with we didn't do goals this year. We didn't do, it was the sky is the limit. We're not gonna set ourselves up to feeling like we got to accomplish this. Let's just take it one step at a time, one game at a time, and see what comes from that, and just focus on us and get better. And our kids really are doing a really good job of that. I mean, they really are. When you start out the year 2-0, then you have a really big win against Naaman, for them to get refocused and turn around against Saxe and get refocused and turn around against Garland. They really do focus on the next game and not so much the record. Well,
and by all means, you correct me if I'm wrong, but it strikes me that the final 4 minutes of that game this past week, the Crosstown Showdown against Wylie, is a really good embodiment of that, because Wylie kind of storms back. They kick a field goal with 4 minutes left to take their first lead of the game. And maybe last year, this Wylie East team wouldn't know what to do. But instead, you guys find a way to drive down. You get a game-winning touchdown with 11 seconds remaining to get the win. And that, to me, is embodiment of the growth of the program and the growth of the players within that program.
Yeah, we really struggled with adversity in the past. Mm-hmm. Just a penalty would just set us really far back, or somebody catches a pass on us. A player would be upset for the next 2 series. And what I told the kids at halftime when the score was 11-10, the most exciting thing that I saw was we had a receiver wide open down the field. Mm-hmm. He drops a wide open touchdown that would have ran into the end zone. And when he ran back to the huddle, you see 2 and 3 guys just, give him a high five, slap him on the head, let them know it's okay. We had a fumble that went into their end zone that we recovered, that you watch on film, that could have been 7 points, and our kids weren't discouraged. They weren't upset. They're mad at the refs, and they just played the next play. And that's what it's all about. You can't control what you can control. And when I knew that we were doing those things in the first half, I knew down in the stretch when times really got tough that our kids were gonna step up to the challenge.
Talking Marcus Gold, the head coach of the Wylie East Raiders here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at hashtag TF Today. This past week, Coach, of course, was a big rivalry game for you guys against Wylie High, kind of renewing a rivalry that has been dormant for a couple of years, but stormed back with some fury this past week. How much of a challenge was it to keep, because we know these players know each other so well, how much of a challenge was it to not keep them focused, but keep them, keep their eyes on the prize, so to speak, with so much noise around this game?
Well, you hope, everything you did in the off season and all the things that you're working on week in and week out, and the focus, it's no doubt it's a difficult challenge. Now, add on top of that, we were on fall break. So not only were we not in school and we're playing our rivals, there's so much chatter on the internet and Twitter and social media. You just try these guys not to get too caught up in it. And we went into the game knowing, Wylie was playing really good on defense. They were 3-1 in district. And, at the beginning of the year, there was so much hype behind the rivalry. It's renewed. It hasn't happened for 7 years. And here we are playing them again. That kind of changed over time for us. That was the rivalry before, but now that we were in a position that we're in now to possibly have a chance of winning a district championship, be able to get in the playoffs, the district game was more important than the rivalry. It was, hey, this is another game. This is a district opportunity to get another district win. That was more important, and that was kind of what we were trying to, send a message to our kids is, hey, this is a district game, knowing that it was going to be a bigger stage with 8,000 people there and all that. So I thought the kids did well. I thought they were focused. I didn't think they let some of those outside things. I think it gave them more excitement than it was a distraction at all.
One of the guys who's been so important to this meteoric rise, it's hard not to notice what Terrell Washington Jr. brings to your team. Just a dynamic playmaker that you guys move all over the field and get him the ball in a variety of different ways. What is it about this young man that sets him apart, that makes him special?
Well, he's changed as a leader just in this last year, and he's not a big talker. He leads by example, and I think he struggled a little bit in the last couple of years in going through some of those adverse situations when we were down and when we were up. He is an unbelievable competitor. I mean, he is one of the most, if not the most competitive young man I've ever been around, and who really wants to win. And he knows that in his leadership role and as one of the best players on our team and in the district, that when you're down or when you're up, there's eyes on you. There's people looking at you, and he's accepted that, and that's what's helped the entire team. That's what's blossomed across the entire team. And going from quarterback last year into the position we put him in this year at receiver, running back, he runs Wildcat quarterback. He plays safety. He's on all of our special teams. He's a personal protector on our team. Doing those things with him just resonates to an entire team that every role matters, every position matters, every phase of the game matters, and he's helped us a lot in that. Not besides the big touchdown catches that he makes all the time. There's such a big picture behind some of those things.
The other thing, it's hard not to notice what the growth that your defense has had this year. Last year, giving up about 32 points a game. This year, through 7 games, that's down to 12. What's the difference on this defensive side, which I think has to be the real driving force behind this historic start?
Well, I think a year, installing a defense. In 6A high school football, there's a lot that goes into it, and most kids don't play both sides of the ball, and there's just a lot of install and information that they have to learn, and then there's more than that. There's a trust factor. I come in March it's hard to win over everybody. and then with on top of that, you come in with maybe 20 to 25 new coaches through their entire program. It was a tough year, a tough transition. Don't let me get started on the construction that I need to put on top of that, and just everything just trickles down. It was really hard to get it going, and throughout off season, working 7-on-7s that this team has never really been a part of. We did a lot of lineman challenges. We constantly competed, and we've got a lot of good players that have sold in and bought into the positions that they're in. We moved some running back to safety. We have some 3 sophomores who did not even play freshman football last year, are starting for us on the defensive side of the ball. So, great players make great plays and help with great coaching. that certainly goes with it. But, we have some young talent that's bought into the program and has definitely helped us on the defense side of the ball.
Marcus Gold of Wylie East joining us here. And Coach, you mentioned that the biggest game is the next one. And, just the nature of this district in District 9-6A is that it's so tightly packed that there's no off weeks, including this week. You guys are traveling to Williams Stadium to take on a North Garland team that is, in many ways, their playoffs start this week for them. And so there's a lot on the line in this one, and I'm not going to ask you to give away your game plan here on the air, but when you take a look at what you're up against the other Raiders in your district, what do you see?
Well, I see probably arguably the best offense in our district, the best quarterback in our district. It is a very tight race. They beat Lakeview, who had only 1 loss. They challenged Garland all the way to the 4th quarter. Lost by 4 points to them. Lost by 4 points to Wylie High. They're a team that could very well get into the playoffs. Also, they were in the playoffs, I believe, the last 2 years. So it's a program where kids that have tasted winning, they know how to win. It's going to be a tough challenge for us. They've gone the distance with every team they've played, whether it was a win or a loss. So we're excited. It's another challenge to get on the road, go to a different stadium. But I think sometimes as somebody, we were 5-0 a few weeks ago. So sometimes it's harder to be 5-0 than it is to 0-5, just to carry it over to the next week and create incentives and things for your kids to keep them motivated week in and week out. And I think this is another thing that's going to keep us motivated, because if we win this game, we clinch a playoff spot. And that is going to be, that's one of the biggest goals that our team has right now.
He's Marcus Gold. He's the head coach of those 7-0 Wylie East Raiders. Check out their action this Friday night up against North Garland. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the fantastic start, and best of luck this week.
Hey, I really appreciate you having me. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.